ding, 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 ding. It's the year of God. It's chaotic. So we're just gonna watch this. I'm gonna put it on subscribers only once I'm done. But we're gonna watch a majority of the two and share some thoughts. So let's get right on into it. And this is incognito window, okay? Cause y'all be nosy. Let's get into it.
The rumor is I'm on your payroll. I King brought him in for damage control. Damage control. I got a question for you, Carlos. I'm your friend and I'm this and all these accolades. You ain't never put me on one of your shows. Okay, you wanna go there now? I wanna go
Let's
there.
go there.
I wanna go there right now.
Give it up for the king of YouTube, Bucky Dineva.
Yeah.
Who were you as a little gay black boy growing up in Miami?
This is when I knew my mouth was a weapon. There was this kid in class that was just bothering me. And I just turned around and I just went off on him. In that moment, the class erupted in laughter. Instead of him getting up and hitting me, he started crying. My reputation became, ooh, don't say nothing to that skinny gay boy. He'll rank you and make you cry. And from that moment on, I was like, ooh, bitch, I got something.
What was your relationship like with your father? Did you guys ever have conversation about you being gay? Did you ever come out to him?
Mind you, this non-emotional black man, and he said to me, you've been walking around all these years carrying a burden that was mine to carry for you. Whoa. Boys can have daddy issues too. My first sexual encounters were with extremely older men, 15 and they're like 40.
You were molested.
I know that now. Why are you getting on my tea like a therapist?
But one of the biggest misconceptions about you is that you are this messy black queen.
Baby, I could unravel so many reality TV shows right now, baby.
Did Sheree Whitfield sue you?
Oh, yeah. So,
who would you say is a YouTube blogger that you feel like has next?
there's a lot of people out there. Armand is good in silo that he's good in. Like that female rap. That was why, when I made my departure from Park Soul, which is a perfect segue, and I'm sure that's where we're going. They needed somebody who was brazen, cavalier, not afraid to speak. He or T.S. Madison were the best ones.
This was Madison asked first before Armand. Why were you so unhappy at TGIF?
Just every damn day you came to work, it was fucking something. The deal fell through over $250.
What was it between Claudia and Al that just made things so negative working at that time?
I know that they had
Allegedly, Al would contact producers, human resources, and do a lot of complaints and was a diva behind the scene. Would that be true?
So
When you saw Armand's roast, what was your first thought?
I thought it was extremely unprofessional. I thought it was gross.
When you learned that it was officially canceled, what was the first thought that went through?
This is stupid. And y'all had something, and it could have taken everybody to the next level. Y'all could have, I could have been like, took the season off and came back.
A lot of people feel like you hate black women. A lot of people feel like you are very disrespectful to black women.
So
what's next for the doll?
syndicated nighttime talk. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly. I'll be back in Atlanta in September. I'm coming to kick ass and take names. That's something stupid.
Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like. Know about, because I move in silence. I have had pitch meetings with you.
We did do that.
Okay,
I did do that.
and when it comes to you did appear on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I did.
Thank you very much. Now, look, that's a show that I created and have some control. Now, the shows prior to that, I had no control. Funky. And you can't go to Chateau Sheree's residence and expect to get on Atlanta Housewives, girl.
All in front of the people's house with dildos and stuff.
Doing your beat reporting.
Okay. In drag. Oh, my God. We have come such a long way.
No, and I want to say this to you before we get started. I love you. You and I are really friends.
Yes.
And we know so much about each other.
We do.
And we have never spilled each other's tea.
Or slept with each other. I normally sleep with all my friends.
You do?
It's almost a criteria to be my friend.
You have slept with all your friends?
Just about 9 times out of 10 if you see me. That's some exclusive tea.
Now I gotta see why I love him. Because listen, he keeps it real, and so do I. But no, I want people to know side of you. Because the man who I know is really Quentin.
Indeed.
Okay? And I want to go back a little bit before we start about the amazing things you're doing now and have done in the past. A lot of people don't know much about you, which is
by design.
By design. So you are a Floridian.
In Miami.
Born and raised. Talk to me about who were you as a little gay black boy growing up in Miami?
Ooh, awkward, insecure. I was skinny, awkward, unattractive, insecure. Always knew that I wanted to be a star. And always knew that I was smart as fuck. Now, one thing that I want to impress upon parents that pouring into your kids and saying, oh, you are kind, you are smart, you are beautiful, that thing that really does work because one thing that my parents did well was fortify the fact that I was smart. I was never the athletic kid. I was never the kid that people desired sexually. I was smart. I was the kid that my mom's friends would be over and like she'd wake me up out of bed and be like, get up, do your poem. Get up and do your poem. You know what I'm saying? Or like I would speak and if I would say, ain't, my mom's like, ain't, she slapped my hand, ain't a word. And so, growing up, that was one thing that I knew I had over everybody in the room around me. I was always the smart kid. And then on top of that, I was always the funny kid. And I learned very early on, when you're a kid, it's the attractive kids and it's the athletic kids that get all of the glory and the popularity. And I was like, well, that's not my trump card. What was yours? And I learned that humor was my card. And that's why people kept me around. And that's how I got into the circles. I was the funny kid. And then again, too, being my mouth. When you're awkward and skinny and you're gay, and mind you, elementary school, middle school, even early high school, I had no concept of what gay was. I didn't know. I knew I was different than everybody else. Now, all the other kids were calling me sissy and a faggot and all this type of stuff. And it's weird because I grew up in Carroll City, now called Miami Gardens, inner city Miami. But up until third grade, I went to a white private school. And, so funny, both of my parents are dead now, and I don't know why they took me out of private school. They probably couldn't afford it anymore. But fourth grade, I get taken out of private school and thrust into inner city black school. And I don't understand these black kids. I really didn't. Like, I came from an environment where people wear uniforms and nice shoes and spoke proper English and violence and anger and rap music. None of that stuff existed in the private school environment. And then all of a sudden, now I'm in fourth grade around these, for lack of a better word, progetic-ass children that's talking all this slang, and they're so steeped in black culture, and I had no idea what the hell was going on. And so, I got teased and bullied and pushed on and hit on a lot.
They bullied you physically.
Yeah, at times. Yeah, there were times you go to the bathroom and kid push you down or push you into a wall. And I didn't come from a family of like rough and tumble cousins where we were in the yard fighting and stuff. That just was not, I was just not a tough and rumble kid. And I will never forget, and this is when I knew my mouth was a weapon. There was this kid in class that was just bothering me. And I just turned around and I just went off on him. And I was scared to do it when I did it, but I did. And in that moment, the class erupted in laughter. And instead of him like getting up and hitting me, he started crying. And then my reputation became, oh, don't say nothing to that skinny gay boy. He'll rank you and make you cry. And from that moment on, I was like, oh, bitch, I got something. And I used my mouth to back a motherfucker up off me. And it's been that way. And that's when I knew. I was like, you got something. You got something. And that's why to this day, at 40 years old, a bitch do not want to tongue wrestle with me because you're not going to win. But that was how it happened. It was a defense mechanism.
So that's Funky Dineva's, character development. You start to see how, he becomes who the hell he is. And again, that may clash, directly with someone maybe who had somewhat of a different esteem type of development. You know what I'm saying? But again, I want to validate each one's feelings. However, we can always be realistic here, but I'll hold, further commentary for now. Okay.
Been called fat sissies and stuff. Thankfully, I wasn't physically bullied, but I can relate to you in the sense of you have to defend yourself. And it's no mistake that you and I have created this path for ourselves to where we are self-made and we use our voice to be a weapon.
Yeah. And I've had to learn how to own that too. And I also was the kid that got talked too much on Progress Report. I was the kid that got talked too much. I was the kid that, at times, like, my parents would, be quiet, go sit down, be quiet, stop talking, be quiet, stop talking. And it's weird though, because like in elementary, when I went to the public school, I was on the morning announcements. Middle school, I always was wrote poetry contests, oratorical contests. School again, morning announcements, most of my years there, drama. And it's just so funny how the thing that people told me was, defective in me is the thing that brought me over, which is my mouth. And so my cautionary tale to parents out there is don't tell your kids they talk too much. Like, figure out a way to hone that talent. Granted, my parents were doing the best they could with what they had, but in a perfect world, they would have honed that talent, put me in drama classes or stage or theater or something. But it's just so weird how, I was always told I talk too much. And now I talk for a living, a very good living, as as we know. But yeah.
So let's talk about your household though. So you grew up in a
So again, some people really flourish when they learn to use what they have, and other people that may not know how to do that hate. And it's very funny because I see that Armand too is using what he has. You know what I'm saying? But again, different generations, and we'll speak on that a little bit further in a bit. Yes.
two-parent household.
No, my parents divorced when I was a baby. I don't have any recollection whatsoever of my parents being together. If I'm not mistaken, I think my parents divorced when I was a few months old. So the only memories that I do have, or the only familial configuration that I do have, is me and my mom, and then my dad, my stepmom, and the family that I had at that house. But my father is very much present. It's one of those things. I went to my dad's house on the weekends and on holidays. And then when I was about 14 years old, I think in the 10th grade, I moved in with my dad permanently until I went off to college.
What was your relation like with your father?
So my father was a provider beyond measure. My father probably was the best provider that any family could ever want. He prided himself in that because my father grew up dirt poor in rural Mississippi. His father, wasn't present or whatever. So, I think operated in survival mode. As it relates to being bonded with one another, that didn't exist. Having an emotional connection, that didn't exist. My father couldn't tell you my favorite things to eat, my friends, my favorite colors, what I like to do. It just like many black men from the South that just come from nothing. Affection and being loving, it just was a luxury that they were not afforded coming up. And I guess they did not know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, he was there, he was present. He, provided, but as far as him and I like being connected, I mean, like, Dad, this is what's going on, or us talking, or him like picking me up from school and taking me to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal, those things didn't happen.
Did you guys ever have conversation about you being gay? Did you ever come out to him?
Yeah, so it's so funny, being black, you automatically assume that your father is going to be the one who has the issue and that your mother is going to be the one that coddles you, and it was the other way around. I'll never forget, I was about maybe like 23, 24, 25, somewhere in there. My mom had known for 2 years, and he and my stepmom were in the living room. And, we were having a larger conversation, and I told him, and he looked at me and he said, "You didn't even have to tell me that." He was like, "I watch those white people on MTV. I see what they do to their kids." He was like, "What do you think of me?" And he said, "Even if you were a serial killer, still my son, I have to love you." And then he took it a step further, mind you, this non-emotional black man, and he said to me, "You've been walking around all these years carrying a burden that was mine to carry for you." And I was like, whoa. Because when it comes from to like showing like emotion and connectiveness, I had never ever gotten a level of like intimacy or like emotional connection from father. So I never thought he would have ever said something like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a large part of me, because that is so counter who he is and was, a large part of me feels like my dad probably researched that online and kind of had that. Because it was just too poetic. It was too deep. It was too loving. It was too let me wrap my arms around you and love on you. And that's just not who he had never said anything to me or anyone in my presence remotely that poetic before. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm being honest, just his actions throughout my life didn't reflect that. You know what I'm saying?
Was he mean to you?
No, he wasn't mean. He was just not present, like emotionally, like he was there. My father was in my life. I'm not one of those, oh, he ain't got no daddy, that's why he's gay. No, my father was there. Didn't want for anything. Made sure we had the best of the best. I have to always give him that. But if I was like so like put my arm around you and love on you, it just simply did not.
I'm gonna say this to you. I'll say to you on that too. My father is in my life. He's alive.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is deceased. Me and my father were not at all close growing up. At all. Just wasn't. He was in the house.
Yeah, but not there. Present in the house, but just not present, just not there.
That's what,
Exactly. Carlos knows, it seems, the nuanced difference. Okay.
not to me.
Yeah.
To my brothers who watch sports with him, sure. My sisters. To gay Carlos, not at all. And it took me later in life, and I'm saying this because I want to speak on behalf of your father, if I may. Well, I learned from my father being born in 1949, having to grow up drinking from the colored water fountain, having a father who picked cotton, being born where you are told in Detroit, Michigan, as a teenager, the best you can be is working at Ford Motor Company, Junior Chrysler, work at a plant. And that's what he did because he forgot his dreams of being a musician because he had all these kids. You know, I have kids, right? I mean, 10 siblings. So what I learned, Quentin, is this. My father being born in 1949, that's all he knew was to be a provider. And he wasn't raised as a black man in the 50s or the 60s to have emotion because God forbid you show the emotion, you would get beat by the man. Not only physically.
See, Carlos, he at least gets the generational, nuance and differences. So yeah, that was a very good point there, Carlos. I like to look at things objectively. So I'm gonna give them their tens or their teens or their whatevers when they make an accurate point. You know what I mean? And then yeah, and vice versa. And if they say some BS, of course I'm gonna call that out immediately. But I'm gonna let them continue. But Carlos definitely, I'm glad that he made that distinction or pointed that out. And look at the way Funky's looking at him.
Emotionally as well. And it took me to talk to my father. I was 35, I think. And we had a conversation. And he said to me, and I'm glad we had the conversation, but he said to me, I had no idea you felt this way. And I had no idea I was doing that. And I'm sorry. And now we're like the best of friends. We talk every day. He's spoiled. He wants everything, child. I bought him a new car.
Yeah.
And we're good. So I want to say that on behalf of your father. But it took me to put myself in my father's shoes. And to be like, who would I be if I was born in 1940?
It seems Funky was a little bit uncomfortable at this point. It's as though I don't know if Funky wanted it to be like, oh, and he's forgiving his father and he's trying with his father. Whereas Carlos is saying, your father is a human being and it was a different generation. So now I see, as far as body language goes, Funky looking uncomfortable because, again, he wants clearly the interview to be about him and the narrative that he's, pushing. You know what I'm saying? Which is a polished narrative from what, just a couple months or a year ago when he was speaking badly on Chloe Bailey. You know what I'm saying? So I believe, just let me put this out there right now. Everyone can behave immaturely, and maturity is, I believe, a gaslighting of society to keep you in check. So act out if you must, but take into the risk factors. Okay, it's like don't act out too much if you can't risk it that much. You know what I mean? But maturity is a gaslighting type of phrase. Do what you need to do that you feel is best for you. You know what I'm saying at the time, and we got to keep it moving. And also, we should allow people to be able to take L's. You know what I'm saying? And go under, redevelop themselves, and come back. Like take the L's, unless it's something that has to do with violating children or another human being against their will, especially viciously. Like okay, that's a you won't come back from that. Okay, because we won't allow you to. But anything else, I think it's work outable. You know what I'm saying? If you really mean it, if you're not trying to, promote this narrative that is most likely not accurate. You know what I'm saying? But let me allow them to continue. I just had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to, you know what I'm saying? Get that off my chest real quick. Okay? Yeah. Okay.
49. And once I put myself in that position, I forgave him.
Yeah.
But all the times he was emotionalist to me.
Yeah, I mean that definitely through growth, maturity, and therapy is one of those things that I realized. Billy Porter said it best, and he said, sometimes our family just do not have the tools to love us the way we need to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because you know
And because they do not have those tools, it's either you're going to keep holding them hostage to what they did not know, and some people clearly want to do that, and then there's some people that just let it go because they have already reasoned that if they knew better, they would have done better, and all we can do is maybe try to help them navigate the newer days, the newer years, and that's not like the days of before, and just be understanding of the limitations that those that came before us had. And if they're not, trying to be intentionally harmful and are actually trying to learn, that we give them that space. And if Funky, it seems as though it's hard for him to, you know, get to that space, right? You know what I'm saying? But he wants other people to give him that room, but yet you're not even giving that space potentially to your parent. Then how do you expect others to give you that room? You know what I'm saying? And then how do you expect to comment on someone that I see is actively doing the work? Armand is not perfect. No one is perfect. You know what I'm saying? He too may have some motherly wounds that he's actively working on. You know what I'm saying? So because he's actively trying to develop, I'm going to now lend a little bit more support that way. You know what I'm saying? And Funky, I'm actually very proud of Funky because I quite frankly always thought he was very immature. And sometimes some people like to put off what their characteristic is onto someone else so that they'll now be the new focus of that. No, it's still you. It's still you, Funky. Okay, you still immature as fuck as well, since we want to be calling people immature. Okay, but I like the way that he is now trying to repackage himself. That's good. So you have to allow that for other people as well. And if you're trying to be calling out people for being quote unquote immature, then you may not be the best messenger. Even though I don't even give a crap about messengers, uh, just receive the message, okay? Period. Okay, receive the message. All right, let's let them continue.
oftentimes when we talk about having daddy issues, we oftentimes think of community and girls, and I just think it's worth noting. Oh, how you get all my out of therapist? I just think it's worth noting that boys have daddy issues too. Like I remember when
Bingo. I just said that. Bingo. Yes, you have daddy issues. Okay. As well as mother issues, as well as scenes. Look, I'm just calling what I'm seeing, observation, okay? K observations, okay? And clearly, and I'm just gonna pause myself there. Okay.
first became sexually active, and my first sexual encounters were with extremely older men.
Like how old?
Like I'm like 15 and they're like 40.
You were molested.
I know that now.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I know that now, and it's weird because I don't know that. I don't know that I call it that and it's full regalia because it's not like, oh, I was sleeping somewhere and someone touched me. It was something that I sought out.
How did you seek that out at 15? Was it
The
just
internet, AOL, Miami Men for Men, the chat lines.
and these predators?
Yeah.
Don't make me promise to be quiet.
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
in conversations, it's funny because after I came out to my father, we had that conversation. Just that level of giving me something emotionally, it cured that in 30 seconds. Literally, the moment I got up out of that living room from that conversation when I came out, my attraction to older men, it dissipated instantly.
I mean, it should, I don't know, it might go, we have to allow ourselves to sit and really think about the things that affect us. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go off because of certain things, you kind of have to sit with yourself and figure out why. Why do I go off because of certain things, Or why do I react like this because of what is making that to be the reaction that you have. You know what I mean? But yeah, it goes deeper and it's like sometimes some people do a little bit of work and they see a little bit of results and they're like, okay, I'm perfect. No, and especially if someone thinks they're so smart, you know what I'm saying? If they've been told they're so smart their whole lives, then they sometimes it hinders them to seek further progress, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's continue. And someone like, let's say, Armand, that knows that he has some work to do, like that allows him to continue to progress and maybe even do even more self-development than the people that are speaking on him. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
It's weird.
So, what was your relationship like with your mom? Because you said that your father accepted your sexuality, which is rare for the father, especially a black father, because it's no dream of most black fathers to have a gay son, especially back in our day. Your mother had a problem with it?
Oh yeah, my mom had a problem. So first and foremost, my mom, when I was deceased, the biggest blow to me when my mom died was the fact that I lost my biggest cheer. Let me tell you something. My mother was the type. If I said, "Mommy, I want to be an astronaut," baby, she was at Barnes and Noble buying astronaut books, bringing them home. If I said, "Mommy," if I changed my mind the next and said, "Mommy, I want to be a figure skater," baby, she was looking in the yellow pages, looking for figure skating classes. Like I was her baby. I could do anything. I was the smartest kid on the planet. My kid is better than yours, and your child did that. I could do it. Sign him up. Like she was my biggest cheerleader, and I love her, and I'm just so much for that. As it relates to the homosexuality thing, just like much, black communities, inner city, growing up impoverished, the church, all that stuff. I grew up in a house.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of, people my age, and, they have a hard time forgiving those before them. Not saying they have to forgive them, but at least understanding those before us, the mind frame of those before us, okay? It was definitely rooted in even more fear than a lot of people today, okay? So, you I just find coming to terms with that, it does help. And until a lot of people can kind of let that go, it's gonna weigh down on them. Like it's gonna be so obvious. You know what I'm saying? Especially to us that are definitely aware. But yeah. So of course, having those pains, a lot of people take it out on others. So in each community, there is people that reflect positively of the community or positive outcomes of the community, and then there are the negative outcomes of the community, but the negative can always better themselves, you know what I'm saying? And those that came out positively, when they see that those that came out negatively are trying to work on themselves, if they feel the need or if they feel, it in their heart, they too can then assist. But if you're not trying to assist yourself, or you limit yourself from growth, or you allow anger to continue lingering, it will weigh on you. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a fact. But but it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that, what I just did, like a nice, long, heavy breath, you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, relieve yourself of some of the weight that you're holding, because it's not going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Start working on things that you love, that you're passionate about, and try to stop dwelling on the past. I, too, am working on these things. So I'm not going to be preaching to y'all if I ain't doing it or done did it, you know? But let's get back to it.
Also, where my mom and family would drive down the street and they saw somebody on the bus stop, like, look at them fat on the bus stop, look at them goddamn sissies. You know what I'm saying? I grew up hearing that, and so it's weird though because I'll never forget. I had graduated college. I moved back home, and my mom didn't have much money. Her car wasn't working, and she needed a ride to Walmart. And so I take my mom to Walmart one day, and I drop her off, and she says, I got something I want to talk to you about, or whatever. But I see you in a rush. I just talk to you later.
And how old were you?
So I graduated college at 21, so about 23 at the time. And I said, okay, no worries. And my mom was a big talker, so I'm like, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. So then I pick her up like the next weekend, take her shopping, take her to Rose's house. And she's like, yeah, I got something I want to talk to you about. But I see you got some things to do, so I'll just talk to you later. So at that time, I kind of knew, I kind of suspected what she wanted. And I had always told myself that if ever they asked, I would not lie. I wasn't comfortable divulging, but I was there asked. So this third time, I pick her up, take her groceries in the house. She follows me outside. She says, yeah, I got something I want to ask you or whatever. Well, first of all, hey, how you doing? And so whenever my mom said, how you doing, because that's just not the way she talked, it's about to be some shit. And she said, I have an aunt, one of my grandmother's sisters. For the sake of this interview, I'm just going to say her name is Bridget. She was like, Bridget going around saying, Bridget. I said, you want to know if I'm gay? Yes. I just blurted it out. And so she looks, and like you can see the air just get let out of her, right? And then she goes, did somebody touch you? And, in the sense of how she was asking, no. You know what I'm saying? No. I was like, no. And then she said, she teared up a little bit, and she said, I never wanted this for you. And I told myself, if you was gay, or whatever. And then she's crying and she's talking. And she's just going on and on and on. You sure nobody touched you? What happened? Did I do something wrong? And I looked at her and I said, Ma, if I haven't figured this thing out in 23 years, I don't expect you to figure it out in 23 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. I get in the car, I leave. And for about 2 years solid, my mom was extremely angry. Extremely angry. And I'll never forget, my mom had a raggedy ass car. I had to check with water in it like every 10 minutes. And so one day I'm in my apartment and there's a knock at my door. And I go to the door, and it's my mom. I live on the second floor, and all I see is all this smoke coming out of her car, and she's holding a water bottle. And I open the door, and this woman goes, look at you. I can see it all on your skin. I can see it in your skin. God's not pleased. I slammed it on that bitch face. Ma'am. You in that raggedy ass car. I know you did not just show up to my house with this bullshit. I slammed that door in her face so damn hard, and she had to sit her ass outside my apartment for like an hour and a half in the Miami sun, because my mom's car has never had air conditioning. She had to sit out there sweating and all until her car calmed down or did whatever the hell it needed to do. She drove on about her damn business. You know what I'm saying? And then, what ends up happening, it's just so funny how, the black families don't want you to be able to take your gay money. They will take your gay money in a heartbeat. And it's when you're she came around in her own way. And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So that whole messy thing is. I called my boss on Thursday and I said, hey John, listen. I said, I've been out up until Thursday. I might as well just stay out, get well, either come in over the weekend or come in on Monday. And he said, Quentin, you've been out this long. It creates a nice natural stopping point. He said, it creates a nice natural stopping point. He said, I can tell that you're not happy. So we're just going to end this relationship. And I was so sick. I looked at that phone calls. I rolled back over and put the damn phone in the bed. I just didn't give a damn. For one, accountancy is the type of thing. All I had to do was call the temp agency on Monday. I have another job. I could tell someone. So I wasn't really pressed. Yeah. But so I was like, that's what I did before. And I said,
And see, like right here, because I've watched, this portion and onward. So I can relate to Quentin in the fact of our careers. Like my undergrad initially was what? I graduated with accounting as a major, computer science minor. So I definitely relate to the feelings that he had when it came to accounting, when it came to taking a chance on himself and all those things. I can definitely relate. You know what I mean? So in this aspect, I can relate to Quentin, and yeah. So accounting, oh my God, it can be depend if you are creative, it can feel like literally you're unaliving your soul. Okay, but unless you find a pocket where it's like, okay, cool. Like me, my pocket was accounting and auditing. In the technology field, like that was my little comfortable pocket. You know what I'm saying? As well as being creative, you get to be a little bit more creative once you find your comfortable pocket. You know what I mean? So I can definitely relate. And right now, I've been wrongfully terminated by DC government, and yeah, I've now filed the lawsuit because I was trying to give them grace. You know what I'm saying? Like black women, we try to give everyone grace, don't we? So yeah, I try to give them grace. It's been 3 years, coming. So they look. And me, I really don't speak on things until I'm like pushed to that point. Like, and I'm like, you know what? It's up. It's up. It's up. It's up. Okay. But yes, I can definitely relate to Quentin on this. So this is kind of how I reason sometimes, right? I'm for the most part always objective, okay? Because I gotta call a thing at all times. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't, you then leave way for people to play with you, okay? And we don't do that, okay? And like we don't do that. And if we doing that, it's for a longer, stronger play, okay? Period. Some people don't understand strategy. And also, if you need some strategy coaching, hit up your girl. Okay, I can look. I'm a master strategist. I could even get Drake out of his kerfuffle, but I would not because I'm an ethical, okay, ethical conscious master strategist. Okay, so and creator. So I don't know if I would even take Drake's money. Well, I would let y'all know what the strategy is so that I could be like, look, it didn't work, but it always works. So Drake, Drake and Kitty. I don't call him P Diddy. I call him Kitty. Okay, you like to mess with kids? Okay, okay. Oh, okay. But anyways, so holler at your girl. I can even do the smaller strategy like content creating strategy and all those things. But if you need a master strategist, it's called the Olivia Pope bundle package. Okay, so that's on my Upwork. Is it my Upwork or my? Anyways, yeah. So you will get access to me at all times to ask me all sorts of questions when you're making your decisions. Okay. So either get the Olivia Pope package or cash at me or PayPal me and say Olivia Pope package, please. Okay. And I'll be right at your beckoning call. Okay. Via phone. Okay. But that's a whole nother aspect. But let's continue watching. Yes. I can relate to him on this for sure. For sure, for sure.
Said,
Accounting.
okay. And I woke up that Monday and I got ready to do my thing, send my resume out. I said, you know what, Quentin? Sending your resume out for another accounting job is literally you auditioning for misery. You're walking in saying to somebody, excuse me, Carlos King, can you please pay me to be miserable? And I said, you can't do it. At the time, Obama was in office, and unemployment in Georgia was about $1,400 a month. And I remember saying to myself, I don't know what this YouTube thing is. I made a couple dollars over here. Okay, if I can get $1,400 on unemployment, if I can get these videos to make another $1,400 or $1,500, that's $3,000 a month. I can live off of that. Mind you, my rent was only $600. So I was like, if I can get these videos, $1,500 from these videos, $1,500 from unemployment, I can live off of this. And within about 4 months, bitch, I was on the first Love and Hip Hop reunion. I'll never forget Katrina Daly. I'll never forget. I was sitting at home. I was doing videos. That's when I first season of Love and Hip Hop. Let me say this to you and to Mona. I would not have a career or be here today if it was not for the Real House of Atlanta and if it was not for Love and Hip Hop. Those are Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Those are the two shows that broke me, that put me on television, so on and so forth. I'm doing my little videos. The first early seasons of Love and Hip Hop was the best. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
See, Armand can say that wasn't necessarily his story. He didn't necessarily need those to pop. He didn't need love and hip hop. He didn't need like necessarily to pop. You know what I'm saying? So it's everyone has their value that they contribute. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. When I heard that, I was like, Quentin, don't date yourself. You're dating yourself. You're making yourself, less relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone always wants the newer, younger, fresher thing. Okay, you should know that. You know what I'm saying? In the LGBTQIA plus community, you know that. You gotta, stay young, fresh, pop, relative, all that. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, Mona and all of them, but a bigger, a fatter pussy bitch would have been like, but it was my personality that did it. Yes, you know what I'm saying. But okay, but I'm glad you're giving them their ones and twos and whatever. But okay, I'm just saying, since someone like Armand doesn't necessarily have to do all of that, and people of the Generation X and above and older, you know what I'm saying? They really have to do that. But in my generation, millennials and younger, you know, we getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? We doing it, you know what I'm saying, with technology involved, and we're not really bowing down to the feet of those that, you know what I'm saying. It's equity. It's mutual respect is what's happening nowadays, okay, and what will continue to happen. So when you are doing the most like with your superlatives, then yeah, it's like it's a bit much. Like, oh my gosh, next. For sure. Ugh. Like me. When I'm giving my
I'm going in.
ones and twos to Sheer 7, it's because she literally, you know, taught taught something that the world can benefit from. It's spreading something that the world can benefit from. It's something that I have incorporated into one of the books that I've written. Okay, the Pick Me Awareness Hotline Rehab Recovery Center. Okay, so in addition to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, okay, RIP, okay, period. It's these pivotal figures that help women deconstruct a lot of the things that's going on right now. Okay, so, but anyways, getting back to Quentin, when he mentions, oh, Mona and all that was a different time frame. So just by him mentioning that, we know what time frame that he's coming in, and people don't necessarily want that anymore. So instead, some people have misplaced anger, misplaced jealousy. You know what I'm saying? That's not needed because you are literally in your own pocket. But people that's in their own pocket sometimes get jealous of people that are trying to figure out exactly where their pocket is because they feel threatened that the people trying to figure it out will come for their pocket, not knowing that you could never be in the exact same pocket as anyone because by sheer definition, everyone is different. So even if they're in your pocket, they're going to offer something different. And that's what gets me about Gen X and the older generation. Stop hindering the younger generation. It's going to make you look just like how he's looking now, bitter, like he didn't, do what he could when he had the seat. You know what I'm saying? So move along. You had the seat. You did what you did with it, and you where you at with it. You know what I'm saying? Let the next generation give it a try and shut your fuck ass up. You know what I'm saying? But no, y'all don't do that. Y'all want to, deflect so that all your insecurities and all the stuff that you feel about yourself, you place it on someone else so that people can attach your insecurities and all your terrible thoughts of them with them, no matter how good you make it sound. The fuck? We're not new to narcissists, okay? We're not new to manipulation. But that's what I felt. I'm sorry. That's what all of this felt like. It felt very contrived, very pre-planned. You know what I'm saying? And it still didn't hit the way it needed to. But I'm very glad that I did get some of the story. Well, I heard the whole thing, but that I got a little bit more of a different presentation of Funky, which was needed because he was often coming off as very immature. So for him to call someone else immature is rich. It's very fucking rich. And quite frankly, okay, I'm gonna let him continue.
And mind you, I'm the first bitch on YouTube to ever do reality TV reviews. Okay, it was not a thing. It wasn't a thing. And give me my things, bitches.
Do you feel like, not to cut you off, I want to finish the story. Do you feel like you don't get your things? I will say this while you think, me included, and I'm saying this to you with some real shit. We are able because of you, me included, me, my company, my shows. Like create, we are able because of you. Me and every black, white content creator who either do interviews or recap reality TV. So, what was I? No, so you were doing hip hop. So I'm in the room. I'm in the room.
Yeah.
The video had went around, and things were fine. It was there. I'm sure she probably was embarrassed. There was a white blogger named Tamara Talos, who I guess attempted to one-up me and Michelle, and she actually went into the house. At the time, it was just still like, they were building it, so it was still a wood structure, and the workers were out there doing it. It was a construction site. And she went
Speaking of, let me not say nothing.
on the property, in the house, looking around, talking to the Mexican people, taking pictures and stuff. And it was at that point where Sheree, and I don't blame her, and it's like, bitch, we only got to be on this shit for an hour and a half. I'm just not understanding why the motherfucker cannot just read the goddamn topics, come to work, do what we need to do, log the fuck out, and that just be that. You know what I'm saying? It just, things got personal, people's feelings started getting intertwined, and to be clear, and I'm not speaking out of turn because Claudia spoke about it when she was on your thing. The shit didn't have nothing to do with me. It was a lot of, just me being caught in between her and Al, whatever the fuck they had going on. And it was dumb. It was dumb to me, okay? And so.
And that's what Armand also had to walk into. I can relate because I also had to walk into a hostile work environment. And that's what kind of started where I'm at with the wrongful termination with DC government. Because I walked into exactly that. I was a day in. I done got all the tea, okay? And I was just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Just be about myself and, focus on my work and face first. I didn't want to be about a part of no mess. But they drag you into that shit. And I'm just like, what the heck? Even if you don't say nothing, then it becomes an issue because you're not saying nothing. Like, oh my God. And I still wasn't saying nothing. So it's like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. When it's toxic, it's just toxic. When it's hostile, it's just hostile. And you need to correct it from the top, right? But anyways, and let me just let him talk.
So let me give you the recipe for why I walked. Number one, like you said, bitch, I ain't had no job in 13 years, okay? Q don't work. So the fact that I got to now punch a goddamn clock every day, that's already a compromise, right?
And not to stop you, you also are a solo star. So coupled with clocking in, you have to work with people.
Well, I didn't mind that. I love that.
But meaning, because I know what it feels like. Meaning, you call the shots, you say what you want to say, but when you have to work with people, their shit becomes your shit.
And so you're right, because now I'm having to, take into consideration other people's feelings and rules and corporate protocols and procedures and all this type of stuff. Whatever. So it's like, okay, number one, knock on wood, I already don't need this job, okay? I don't need it. Now, great, a $250,000, bitch, I could use an extra $250, but I don't need it, number one. So I'm not finna be stressed for it. I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? It just became, I'm already working every day, Monday through Thursday, 2 shows on Thursday. Then we log on, it's a shitstorm every damn day. It's something. It's a call here, an email this person said that, I'm feeling this way. It's too much damn feelings, okay? And then the last piece was just the negotiation piece. It was like, I don't know what job you work on, at what Starbucks job. They say, Carlos, we're going to start you at $7 an hour part-time. And then they come and say, guess what, Carlos? We like you so much, we're going to promote you to full-time. We're going to cut your pay to $5.15. How is it last week my value was $7? You like me. Go away from me. And my job, if I'm being honest, the deal fell apart over $250. Ain't that the pay of it all? Ain't that the pay of it all? The deal fell through.
That just made things so working at that time.
I don't know. I don't know, because I know that they had a long-standing relationship for years prior. Carlos, honestly, I don't know. I honestly do not know. There was an incident, and this is just for me, like, piecing together things from all the blogs and stuff. There was an incident where Claudia got a screenshot of a text message from Al, and in the text message he had said, and I'm only speaking about this because she's made me honest, I don't want to be in no mess. She got a screenshot from Al where he had said something unfavorable about her to Nene Leakes, okay? And it got back, Claudia saw it, and that at that time had created a big shitstorm, and we got through it. So I thought. And the reason why I say so I thought is because now in present day, a lot of what I'm seeing online is people regurgitating or repeating that Claudia says, Al was talking about her, and that's when shit went wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought we had got over that I'm guessing maybe we never did. Do something again. We had lightning in a bottle, Carlos. We really did. We really did. We did. We had lightning in a bottle. And honestly, truthfully, it's one of those things where your popularity per se ain't got shit to do with what's going on right here. You see what I'm saying? And when I left, the numbers left. Those were my people. Those were my people. So why am I going to just sit here with all this going on, the contract ain't looking too right, and just continue to let y'all leech off of my damn people when I just take my people back to where they came from and keep the money? You see what I'm saying? And then what ended up happening is, I'm like, well, I was already making whatever it is I was making. And then things got a little messy. I'm not going to lie. I started doing my show at 8 o'clock. Things that were coming out of his mouth had trappings of somebody gave him this information. He simply had not been there long enough. And going back to our earlier conversation when I was talking about the maturity piece, that's the thing right there. Like I laid out for Armand everything he needed to do to be successful at that show. And in my opinion, he went there and did the complete opposite. And I'm very disappointed in him for it. I am. Because I rooted for you. I rooted for you when there were actually people working against you being there. And I informed him that there are people who don't want you there. There are people who are going out of their way to not have you here. Told them, oh,
Do I look crazy? I look crazy, man. We like, all right. All right, let's run it. Get in, run it in. Get in, run it in. Time for the show. What's up? Hey, mother. What's going on, everybody? What is the vibes? What is the vibes? Shout out, let me make sure I can hear. Make sure I can hear me. Shout out. This is so much more. All right, boom. Can you hear me? Excuse me. Ow. All right. John, this is wrong. Got too big. Trying to lose weight. Look, I'm seeing out all up. The shape is just blessing. Okay, broken got a little. Anyway, okay. Hold on, y'all. Ooh. Now you know we gotta get into some things. And today is the day that we are getting into some things. Okay. Um, is the volume low? Can y'all hear me? Before we get into it, can y'all hear me? Because I don't have time for that. More, I don't need, and also, I don't need your opportunity. Whatever opportunity you think you may have for me, that you're gonna, I don't want your opportunity. No, thank you, but no, thank you. I'll pass. across the board. I don't want your opportunity. Okay? Because what I've learned is a lot of people's opportunities, a lot of people's mentorship, friendships, everybody's just trying to throw this around like I just been looking for a mentor. I'm not looking for a mentor. I'm not looking for guidance. I'm not lost. I'm good. And I think for a while, it just started to become this thing where it was like, I was coming up in the game and everybody kept trying to make it seem like I'm just this guy just trying to find his way into the industry. And I think that I got gave so much of a lot of energy, like I really wanted, like Hollywood or something. I'm here to let you know I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I want to start there. I don't give a fuck. And a lot of these people that have larger platforms or name recognition, they feel like they're above you. They feel like that you have to follow their lead or be some type of son or child. If that is who you are, we cannot work together. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to be quite frank. I'm a main character. I come with a lot of pizzazz, a lot of energy, and I'm going to get a lot of attention. And I love to be the center of attention. I don't have to be the center of attention, but I love to be the center of attention. I'm a main character kind of person. And so, don't approach me with opportunities or mentorship if you can't handle that kind of charisma. I'm not Robin to Batman, I'm Batman. I will follow, but eventually I will have to leave and do my own thing. Okay? I cannot be under you. I'm not your guard dog. I'm not your do boy. I'm not your. That's never going to work for me. Okay? So, with that being said, you probably should keep your opportunity, and not for whoever. I'm okay. I'm good. I just kind of feel like I want to get that out there. And then for the people that for me to show you, I can't show you. The minute you feel like you're not, I can't make you famous. And the minute that you feel like you're not getting anything from me, and I'm not giving you enough, then all of a sudden, you're exposed to me, you're falling out, you're trying to crash out like I was supposed to build your channel or do this. I can't. And particularly if you're homosexual, I really can't associate with you. Because it's too messy.
Picture this. You're sitting at home alone watching YouTube videos, wondering why you can't find the motivation to do the things you need or want to do or change in the ways you'd like. Even thinking about your mental health.
Because it's too messy. I love y'all, but I can't. Let's start there. Let's put the cards out. I can't do it. I can't mentor you, and I can't be mentored by you. Let's start there. And I want to talk to you. So now, I did not watch the Funky Dineva interview. I saw this. I didn't like the energy around it. I'm going to rewatch what you guys live here. I didn't like the energy around it. Hopefully, I'll watch it and I'll feel different. Maybe I was just judging by the clips. I don't like the energy around it. And if you guys are looking here to tell me that, he didn't say anything bad, I don't really care. This probably is not the live stream for you as well. Because what I've noticed is it's really a trend for people to be able to gaslight me, give their ends on me, critique me, criticize me, but when I do the same, I'm problematic and emotional. That's not going to work here. Just because they're your face or because they have more notoriety or more subscribers or whatever the case may be, that does not allow them to be able to say whatever the hell they want to say or treat me whatever they want to treat or and me not to feel the way or have a response. Because if it were me on the other end, you guys would be saying I'm burning a bridge. If I went out and just started having an opinion on Funky Dineva out of nowhere, it would be me burning another bridge. And I'm here to let you know today, I'm willing to burn every bridge that stands before me. Okay? I don't need your bridge, I don't need your opportunity. I don't know about you. Okay? So I want everybody to just let's be clear. So y'all didn't have to go and say it like, oh my God, he's burning bridges. Line them up, let me burn them. As a matter of fact, give me 1 second. Just in case. I'm fully and well prepared to burn the shit out this bridge today, if I have to. So, if I need to burn it, we'll burn it. I'm not looking to, but I'll burn it. And I don't give a fuck. So, they don't scare me either. Just so we're all on the same page. Does that make sense? Okay. So, y'all have your opinion, and just know this is where I'm at. I'm not playing with y'all anymore. I don't care. I'll be the bad guy. Bitch, you see me, bitch. I look good. Okay, you see. Baby. Body titty. Okay, I'm good. I'll be the bad guy. This is no haircut. I didn't shave, baby, okay? We're ready to burn it. If we have to. Today. Just so you guys are all prepared. Now. What y'all talking about?
Used to for a very long time. One, the industry was moving more toward.
I grew up always on the bigger side as a kid. I was always slightly thicker, big boned. That really continued.
The industry was moving more towards video versus written blogs. That was one. And the only way that you could get your written blog accounting, I'm just fucking fat. And that month, I think I made maybe like $40. I didn't know what it meant. I was just so happy somebody saw me like this. Okay, so I was like, cool, let's do it. And then Tracy called me.
In these places, him in a Scooby-Doo van, maybe investigating the girls on the internet who be lying about it to defend herself.
Yes, well, no, and I'm glad I had the money. I had a lawyer on Twitter, Judge Kimberly Bando. A lot of people, but even Armand.
When did our
like a year, 18 months, like something like that.
You had to kind of pocket to defend yourself.
Yes, well, no, and I'm glad I had the money. I had a lawyer on Twitter, Judge Kimberly Bando, down in DeKalb County. I think Kim was in there in Clayton. Shouts out to Judge KB. An attorney reached out to me and offered to defend me for free.
Damn.
Praise the Lord, I didn't have money at the time.
You've been sued before? Not before. You've been sued by other reality stars, celebrities?
No, I think Chris Stokes filed suit against me. Sheree filed suit.
Wow, I've never been sued.
A couple other people have tried, but it's always get thrown away. They always get thrown. People try. It's very, very, very hard to prove defamation. It's extremely hard to prove defamation. Like you got to prove, number one, what the person said was false and erroneous, and then you got to prove that it caused you some type of monetary harm, and that's the part that always gets girl. You ain't even got nothing going on. What did it harm? And it's the truth. And the whole everybody else is saying it. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of us, I've actually mentored a lot of bloggers through the cease and desist process and the court process or whatever. And then you'll find a lot of times that these celebrities, the new game is we don't even want to win. We just want to bankrupt you. You know what I'm saying? We just want to bankrupt you. So we just want to get you, caught up in court. And it's funny because you have to defend it, because if you don't, they'll get a default judgment against you, then you will owe. But that's the name of the game. Now, so all you bloggers out there, all that messy shit and just running with stuff, chill out.
Who would you say is a YouTube blogger that you feel like has next? Like, when you look at him or her, being the legend that you are, would you say, like, no, that bitch is going to be, not the next you still hear, but like...
Just, so, there are a lot of people on YouTube that have a lot of talent, right? DJ Richie Sky is a great friend of mine. I love what he's got going on because he's polished. Mm-hmm. He's polished. Like, Funky Dineva will never be ETV material. I'm never ETV. I'm not. That's just what I give. I'm okay with that. I love him. I absolutely love Bondi Blue. Mm-hmm. Although we are not in a relationship and I don't have an issue with this person, I just don't particularly care for the way they move. But there is something to say about the business that Tasha K has built. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily agree with her methods and some of the things that she does. And I spoke earlier about being in exposure culture. I don't particularly care for that, but she definitely, she has something. There's a lot of people out there that have something, like Lovely T and her reporting abilities. There are a lot of people, but even Armand Wiggins, like Armand is good in the silo that he's good in, like that female rap stuff. He's good. That was why, when I made my departure from Box Soul, which is a perfect segue, and I'm sure that's where we're going. I'm sure, that was why I was like, this guy is good. And I don't want nobody on YouTube to get mad if I left anybody's name. I don't want y'all to think I'm in shape. I'm going to be very honest with you, Carlos. I do not watch other YouTubers at all.
Oh, I know that for a fact.
I don't at all.
You never have, though.
And believe it or not, I don't consume YouTube content. I don't. And people are always like, why? And it's for several reasons. My brain is a sponge, okay?
I didn't feel like anything that was shade.
Like, everything that comes out of my mouth are things that I've picked up from just my life experiences, and I never want to be on my platform and then end up like saying your catchphrase or saying other people's stuff. That's the main reason.
I don't feel like the female rap stuff was shade because I mean that's what I talked about. So I didn't take offense to that at all. That was perfectly fine. I didn't feel any kind of way about that. Hey,
Why? I only got a lot of other YouTubers, and then too, like, because we all are in this pop culture world. After I do my piece on, I don't care what you got to say about it. I'm moving on to the next thing. But there's a lot of talent in the YouTube space, and there are a lot of people who go sit there and fuck down.
You know what nobody talks about when it comes to building a content creator business? That if you're not using a tool like Honeybook to say,
There's a lot of people just need to go sit the fuck down. But I would love to see like Bonnie Blue blow up. She's from New Orleans. I just love everything that she's got going on. I would.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I would. She is. I would like to see Armand mature a little bit so he can really get everything that the universe has for him. And you know, I'll say it on camera, I'll say it to his face, Armand, you need to grow up a little bit. You need to grow up a lot of it. And I think once he grows up a little bit and matures, I think that the universe is definitely going to open up and give him all the things that he deserves.
that's the problem that I have because I'm like, grow up and do what? Hopefully he's gonna go into this and we're gonna get into in what way do I need to mature. I don't mind. We all are doing growth, but if you really felt like I needed to grow up, that's something that you could have told me personally. You don't sit on Carlos King and call them if you really see it. So for me, I'm not really feeling that because you didn't say it to my face. You said it on the interview to Carlos King. That's weird to me. If you really respected it, you would have called me and felt the way. You have no reason to tell me to grow up because me and you were just on the phone. So what reason do I have now to need to grow up? So I can't wait to hear your reasoning for why you think I need to grow up and mature. Okay? Because it just seems like you have these things to say about all the other content creators, but now it's I need to grow up. So I can't wait to hear what I need to grow up in regards to. That's what I'm here for.
Why for? Why do you think he needs to grow up? In what aspect? Have you seen him?
Just from like a just like an older person once being young. You know what I'm saying? It's just not one particular thing or another. It's just there's just a small from my perspective.
It's not one particular thing, it's just a small thing from your perspective. So you've been feeling away. What is the one? So I'm trying to figure out what was it Fox Soul? Was it my YouTube channel? Like what was it something that I said to you? Like what is the tea?
It's just a small maturity factor that is missing. You know, coupled with obviously some things that I know that kind of transpired in the background with Fox Soul and all.
Okay, so you added a couple things, so you feel away because on top coupled with some things that happened with Fox Soul. So that's the weird part for me because you said with me, you've been in the car with me, we've had conversations about you not liking me before, we were cool, we went to brunch, we did all these things. You never told me that. So there's that, and there's the Fox Soul. Okay, that was different. That's new to me. I don't mind the growth. I don't mind needing to grow. We all can grow. I'm on the growth journey now. But it kind of feels like you about to start trying to whack me.
Give me 1 to 2 weeks, and I'll show you how you can start your own successful online fitness.
You about to start trying to whack me. And I'm not liking it because it's like, girl, you about to try to diss about me. And you're giving like these kind of like grandfather type of vibe, like I'm this little boy and you've been wanting me to do well and I just can't seem to figure it out. When it's given like, girl, and here's the thing what these people do. I can respect your opinion. I can respect everything that you're talking about. We can all grow. But it's the brush that you're using to paint the picture that I'm not fully liking. Because you know how to use your words. Spaniba, again, is one of the best but ever do it. He knows how to tell a story. So he knows how to paint a rainbow and instructs which brushes to use. So it's not what he's saying. It's how he's trying to paint the picture that I don't think that I'm liking.
All the type of stuff. There's just a maturity piece there. And this is not a read or not to be messy, but Armand, I'm telling you, it's kind of like, granted, we don't have a big brother, little brother relationship, but if I could be in this space, a big brother, like once he's got it, he's got the stuff.
Baby, Armand has next.
He's got the stuff.
And as two gay black men in his business who are successful, I agree. I think
definitely got it.
he has it. He's very talented. Have you? Well, let me go backwards. Has he ever just reached out to you for advice or?
No. So he interviewed. So we met once. He interviewed me once. He came down to Miami. And so that's kind of how we fostered our relationship. And then
I never interviewed him. We kick it. We went to brunch. But go ahead.
Then when Fox Soul situation came out, when he was in the running, like we definitely did have several conversations. And I said, do this, do that. You should ask for this. You shouldn't ask for that. Here, lay of the land type of thing. And I will say this. I feel like in that situation, I did for him what I would want someone to do for me at a job. I was like, here is the official handbook of how to do the job, and then here is the unofficial handbook. Here's all the backstory. Stay away from this bitch. Don't talk to this one. Watch what you say in front of this one. Ask for this. Ask for that. Don't do this. Don't do like. I literally gave him all of my experience. I put it because I would want somebody to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? So that has been our relationship. We're not like super close. We don't talk on the phone, but I would do that for anybody that was coming in behind me. When I made my departure, I wanted that show to succeed. I did.
Girl, I'm gonna let this land before I respond.
I did. I just didn't want to work there no more. But I wanted the show to succeed, and I knew that they needed somebody. I knew that they were trying to mimic my energy. I knew.
Here we go. Mimic your energy.
That's correct. But they couldn't. So don't even waste your time trying. But they needed somebody who was brazen, cavalier, to speak. And I felt like all the people in the YouTube say he or T.S. Madison were the best ones. Madison was unable to do it for whatever her reasons were.
Was Madison asked first before Amon?
Yes, from my understanding, yes. Not from my understanding. Yes, she was. Or whatever. And it schedule conflict and the money wasn't right.
Okay.
So she turned it down.
So I'm gonna listen to the whole thing.
Why were you so unhappy at TGIF? Because from the outside looking in, because we went to each other for almost 20 years.
I can't get into the point where you're talking about you want the show to be successful and all of that, and like I just can't, because you made it seem like you gave me the law of the land, and you gave me the law of the land in regards to Claudia Jordan. You didn't give me the law of the land in regards to Al Reynolds. You know that. You did not give me the law of the land in regards to that. You gave me the law of the land in regards to Claudia Jordan and how the company was pretty much going under. I just can't take that you're sitting up here trying to make it seem like you're just giving this advice and you wanted us to win when you were literally going live at the same time, taking the viewers, and you use words maybe like, and you just can't. You didn't want the show to die because you wanted people to say that, hey, the show didn't do well without you. And it's no tea, but let's just keep it a stat. You didn't actually end up calling me or reaching out to me in any capacity. Al ended up telling me that he was talking to you about Claudia and how she was sitting down on the show. I ended up calling you and giving you the rundown and giving you the tea, and then we started talking. You never reached out to me the entire time. You never reached out to me when I was in the run for it. The only time we started talking is because I had been talking to you about Claudia, and then you realized that Claudia didn't like me. You never really cared for me to be on the show. Like, let's not, like, don't sit up here and pretend like you gave a damn about me being on the show. Girl, because you really didn't even care for me at all. You didn't call me because you thought I would be a good fit. We only got on the phone because Claudia was the ops. Let's be clear, like, these girls get up here and they try to act cavalier, like, girl, they've been, usher me in. These bitches, they never gave me no favors. None of these girls ever give me no favors. And don't sit up here like you was genuinely doing me a favor. None of these bitches ever do no favors. Know that. Nobody ever gave me no, you didn't genuinely call me for shit. Let's be clear on that.
I know my sister, and I say, oh, this bitch got a job where he gets to clock in for an hour, read the girls, get a check, and because the biggest thing for you that I know personally is you value your freedom.
Yep.
You love freedom,
yeah.
And I felt like this is a good opportunity for him. I text like, bitch, this is actually good,
yeah.
And I was always proud to get calls with you, or when you have to do other things.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, when he had to do other stuff and couldn't be on, he would refer me, or sometimes they would ask him like, "You okay, Carlos, do it?" So I was trying to know like.
My thing is this: somebody said you're focusing on negative. You damn right, because at the end of the day, you could have said all of this stuff to me over the phone. There was a point in time we talked one time, never talked again. Yet you gonna sit up on here. I don't care what nobody say. I should not wake up in the morning and see you have these opinions and learn new opinions that you have of me. Cordial, cool, whatever you want to call it. To me, at least give me the heads up that it's happening. At least call me. But you out here knowing, again, the brush that you're painting, this is hundreds of thousands of people. Now it's, oh, Armand, now you're painting this brush. Got many people thinking, oh, Armand is immature. He's abrasive. It's this. He needs to just grow up. I may have received that better if you would have called me like you said you would. Because you called me when you were trying to mess with Claudia. You called me to run down, or I called you. How we got on the phone? We got on the phone and run everything down about Fox Soul, the gossip about that. But you couldn't call me for this grandfather growth talk that you give Carlos King about me. Girl, y'all can buy into that bull. I don't buy that. Because if you really cared, you'd have called me. Then you would have said, hey, you know me, I'll give it up. I'm going.
Being an executive woman is not easy. In 2003, I gave up my lipstick and pinstripe suit to go live on an island. I walked away from my lucrative salary. I walked away from my hard-won career. I mean, on paper, I had it all. But the truth is, I was tired of coming home mentally and binge watching Sex in the City instead of having a personal life. I was tired of running late and constantly making excuses to my friends and family, tired of being successful yet having no time to enjoy my success. Now, the first 6
You know me, I'll give it up. I'm going on Carlos King. I'm going to do this interview too, but I just want you to be straight up. I'm going to let you know. It's not about the criticism. It's about where it came from and how it was on a public platform where I had no idea that it was coming out.
This is what support looks like. You got somebody like that bitch. I don't want to. You know, Wendy Williams is so popular. Like, I don't know.
Check my
I saw her.
yes. I was never one of those types of girls because it's just I'm good at what it is I do, and people, and I'm just not like that. But
why were you so happy? Because I thought it was like a good gig.
the infighting, and the just every damn day you came to work, it was fucking something, and it's just like bitch, we only got to be on this shit for an hour and a half. I'm just not understanding why the motherfucker cannot just read the goddamn topics, come to work, do what we need to do, log the fuck out, and that just be that. You know what I'm saying? It just, things got personal, people's feelings started getting intertwined, and to be clear, and I'm not speaking out of turn because Claudia spoke about it when she was on your thing. The shit didn't have nothing to do with me. It was a lot of, to me being caught in between her shit, her and Al, whatever the fuck they had going on. And it just,
Oh, like me. So, like me. But you get to quit, and I don't get to feel away. You get to feel caught in between, but I don't get to feel caught in between. Okay, that's cool. Let's keep going.
it was dumb. It was dumb to me. Okay.
You felt so caught in between, you quit and walked away from 250. And that was the smartest thing you ever did, right? And everybody like, but I didn't get to feel any kind of way. And there's no way I was caught in between anything. I was just immature. Oh, okay.
And so let me give you the recipe for why I walked. Number one, like you said, bitch, I ain't had no job in 13 years, okay? Q don't work. So the fact that I got to now punch a goddamn clock every day, that's already a compromise, right?
And not to stop you, you also are a solo star. So coupled with clocking in, you have to work with people.
Well, I didn't mind that. I love that.
But meaning, because I know what it feels like. Meaning, you call the shots, you say what you want to say, but when you have to work with people, their shit becomes your shit.
And so you're right, because now I'm having to, take into consideration other people's feelings and rules and corporate protocols, procedures, and all this type of stuff, whatever. So it's like, okay, number one, I